Should feel better. Good morning.
The church is supposed to be a place.
Church we are not talking about church this morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Experience is the best teacher. Glowberry, good morning. Thank you. And pink waving. Happy Sunday, Moses Olaniran from YouTube. We are not talking of church. Josina Upong, how are you from Facebook? Yes, Mandy Love, you meet me on YouTube today live. How are you? While I'm waiting for people on Facebook to join us, if you're on Facebook, please help me to share this video. I'm trying to. Peace a table, how are you? We are fine. Good evening. I'm waiting for people to join us on Facebook. How are you, Olueke? This is an educative show, so I have to take time for people to join us. Little bit more time. Kamalope, yes, I am. It's a very sensitive topic. MDA, hello, how are you? Tayo Abiola, how are you? Olueke, how are you, my darling brother? I hope I have not missed any name upstairs. Sheun, how are you? Okay. So I'm saying hello to you. If you join me, please help me to share this video. It's a very sensitive topic. I know it's not what anybody prays for, but I did a video. I'm missing. Thank you, Blessing. How are you? Oluwole Fumilayo, how are you, my sister on Facebook? MJ on YouTube, how are you? I did a video on my experience as a worker in Redeem, where I narrated how I became a widow, and I saw a lot of responses from people who said they are widows, and some of them said they are not dealing with the issue. It's tough for them and all that. And a few weeks ago, I had plans of, talking about it, but I said this topic is too sensitive. It's not something that I don't think people really want to hear. How are you, Yeti Bam? We are good. So I saw a comment, an update somewhere this morning that is prompting me to do this today now. Thank you. That is prompting me to do this now. And the post is about somebody telling, the person is a very good sister, fortunately or unfortunately. So if she gets to see this video, that is May Wolaka on Facebook. If she gets to see this video, I don't want her to feel, I just want to correct some impression. There are some sensitive issue. If you have not walked through that journey, it is tough to talk about it. and it is tough to advise people on how to go about it. Something about this nature. Aderin Omotolani, how are you, my darling sister, on Facebook? I can see you. Eba me share video. Please let me, okay, hold on. Let me share to my other page too on Facebook. Please help me to share this video so people can join us. It's going to be an interactive thing. I want people to share their opinion. And not only that, I'm here to do this in case there is somebody going through this now and that person is finding themselves at a crossroad. They are finding themselves alone and they be like, where do they go? If you find yourself in this kind of situation and you don't handle it well, the tendency that everything around you will be damaged and destroyed is very, very high. So that's why I am doing this. I know it's a sensitive one, so many people may not want to watch it. That's okay. But you might know somebody who is a widow that will need this. Please share it with her, even if you don't want to watch it. Share it with somebody like that. Share it with somebody like that. Share it with people you know that has been in this kind of thing, that are experiencing it presently, because either we like to accept it or not, we might run away from it. We might say, I don't mind. Somebody somewhere is experiencing it. So please, if you know them, share it with them. I saw the post. I've been seeing that a lot of widows are on that page, and I understand why. So, my darling sister May Wolaka on Facebook, in case you get to see this video, I just want to use your updates to enlighten people more on that particular topic you put on your page. Please hold on for me. I want to share the video on my other page so people can join us from there. I'm having issues with my Facebook page, so it's tough. People on Facebook don't get to see me. So let me just try and share. Oh, 20 shares. Thank you so much. With the 20 shares, you see only 20 viewers to show that we are still on dialogue, but that's fine. I'm tired of opening Facebook pages up and down. Dila Indiana Kilonzo, how are you? I'm very good. Thank you. I didn't see you on time. Now I don't greet you now. Thank you very much for everyone that has shared. You see, with 20 shares, only 20 people are allowed to watch. Let me tell you the secret of this game. If you find yourself that you can't find the page again, type, or you see that you don't get notification regularly, unfollow the page and follow it again. Then you turn on your notification. That way, you will be getting to see the video with the live shows, especially that you are missing. Because a lot of people say, Auntie, we are not seeing you, we are missing you. It is not me. Honestly, I love doing live show than recording, even though recording is more convenient at my own time. But live shows make you have diverse opinions and you can really interact with people. So if you know you don't get to see my live show regularly, just unfollow, then follow again and put on your notification. Unfollow, follow again, and make sure you press the like button. Not only to follow and not press the like button and unfollow and follow, then turn your notification. Elegbede Rayaya Rashidat, good afternoon, my darling sister. I think we can start now. We've used almost 10 minutes to allow people join us. Olórí burúkú ní Facebook. Ó ń já àwọn èèyàn gan, seriously. That's okay. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀. I'm talking on widowhood this morning. It's a very sensitive topic. It's a topic a lot of people run away from. It's something that we think is sacred. It's something that we think it should not be discussed. But I will tell you that it needs to be discussed, because when things like that happen, you hear different kinds of advice, opinions, and at the end of the day, you don't know which one to take and which one not to take. And like I always say, if anybody is going to advise you on something, the next question you should ask the person is that, have you experienced it? Okay. Especially an issue like this. Widowhood is not something anybody and everybody can talk about. Louis Angels, thank you, my darling sister or brother. You're welcome on this to my YouTube channel. So it's not something that everybody can discuss and advise somebody about. It will take people who have walked in that shoe to understand the stages, the pains, the confusion, the numbness that comes with it. A lot of pains, a lot of stages comes with this widowhood thing. And when people are passing through it, it will take people who have gone through it to actually help you. I am talking based on experience. For those who don't know, I have been a widow for 18 years now. I lost my husband precisely 2005. So it's going to be 18 years this year. And I think if anybody can advise on the stages of widowhood, it will take people like us, people that are older than us, that have gone through it. I remember when it happened to me, an elderly woman came to me and advised me. She said, "My darling sister, I will come back and see you." She came when everybody was around, but she never said anything. But when she was going, the woman was old enough to be my mother, older than my mother herself. When the woman was about to go, she held my hands and said, "My darling sister, I'm coming back to visit you. When do you think you want me to come? When you think people will not be much in your house?" And I told her to come anytime she wants to come, that I will give her the privacy to talk to me. So when she came, I took her into my room and she began to advise me on so many things. And I will tell you today, everything she told me, I took to it. And today, I will say I am very grateful to that woman, to that mother. She's a mother, she's an elderly woman. Even though I've lost contact with her, I everything she told me that I followed really helped me to stand on my feet and keep me strong and keep me going. And today, I will not say, if I'm going to tell my story, thank you, Oluwatosin. Bolande Ayeni, thank you, my darling sister, you are welcome. So today, she's one of the people who has taken me this far. I prayed like every one of us would think, because when it happens, people will tell you, just keep praying. I prayed. I prayed for strength. The more I prayed for strength, the more I was getting weak. Take it or leave it. The more I am praying, the more I was crying. The more I was praying, the more I was asking questions. The more I was praying, the more I was getting confused. But when this woman came, even though to take her advice was tough initially. Peace, how are you, darling? My darling sister, Peace Sussex, Mary Hain, Happiness Essex. Good afternoon, everybody. As you are joining me, I am greeting you. If you feel I didn't see you, I am greeting. It's just not to get distracted. So this woman came and told me, they gave me some advice. It was tough. It was tough to take to some of the advice initially. And one of the advices that was tough for me to take initially was when she told me and said, very soon I should be thinking of having another relationship. I looked at that woman and I feel like, mommy, I said, mommy, please don't tell me this. And I started crying and telling her, no, my husband, I can never do that. He is the best thing that ever happened to me. I can never open my legs for another man to climb me. The woman laughed. And I wonder why she was laughing at me on that day, because I thought I was making sense. Good afternoon, Faso Yinkechi. How are you, my sweetie? Yeah, purple today, purple day. And I was wondering why she was saying that. She said, when I was crying and she was laughing, I said, mommy, why are you laughing? She tapped me on the back. She said, one day, this advice I'm giving you, you will give younger widows, because I see in you what you can't see in yourself. I was like, hey, another man, another relationship. I said, no, my children are just the only thing that matters now. I don't even want to have anything to do with a man in my life again. She said, my sister, you will need it. I am talking from experience. You will need it. I said, need what? I said, is it going to give me money? Is that the person that will pay my children's bill? No, no. I can't even imagine another man. Blah, 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 blah. The woman said, ọmọdé ò mọ ògùn, ó ń pè lẹ́fọ̀ọ́. She said a child does not know juju or medicine. The child is calling it vegetable. As in, you don't know what you are saying. You are living illusion. You are living in denial. That is what she was trying to tell me. And I kept crying on that day. So what is bringing this story? I saw an update that I'm going to, I didn't remember to upload it. Let me see if I can still upload it and put it. Where my darling sister May Wolaka, she might be looking at me now. My darling Aburu, you know I love you. But there are some terrain we should be very careful when we are advising widows. Uh, when something like this happens to a widow, we should just let them mourn, heal on their own. And even if you have to give some advice, this advice we give sometimes, make we check ourselves. How many of us, even as a single mother, how many of us are doing well without a man by our side? How many of us do not have advice of probably an ex-boyfriend somewhere, a man as an uncle, a man as a brother, or a man as an in-law standing by us to strengthen us? That is like a father figure in our children's life that is standing by us. It might not be sexual relationship. I mean, just a man by your side to help you get your head straight, and you can, now, to now break it down to the issue of relationship. Before I go on, I am going to read an update I found on Google while I was trying to get some material to use. I'm going to read it out to you. Facebook has locked us again. Want to see lock was they locked us after the last show I did 2 weeks ago. So the lock is serious now. So let me read out some what I got on Google concerning widowhood this morning. And while I was trying to, it was written by a widow on YouTube. I mean, on Google, on a website on Google. The woman is a widow, and she wrote, after some research, they made some research, and this is the outcome of that research. They said widowhood is an emerging global issue and must be addressed at all levels of the society. Since the violations of widows' human rights are obstacles to global social and economic development. According to the World Bank, 1 in 10 African women, adult women, ages from 15 upwards, at a point become a widow. This is a large number and does have a noticeable impact on the society. The World Bank noted that 3% of women aged 15 to 49 are widowed. And at age 65, there are as many widows as there are many married women. By age 80% of African women are living in widowhood. The World Bank also noted that 72% of these women are head of the household. As such, due to their role in the family, poverty among these women is far reaching. And the reality is that many widows are affected. A woman and her children could be left poor and destitute at the death of her husband. In much of Africa, many women gain access to economic and social rights through marriage. I hope you get that point. That many women, it is through marriage they become somebody in life. Many women, it is after marriage, their husbands set them up and they become somebody. So when the man dies, there is tendency that things will fall apart. So let me go on. However, when they divorce or are widowed, much of the rights previously gained are lost. Gender inequality is the basis of a wider struggle that gives rise to some of these challenges faced by widows and impedes their advancements. Widows are sometimes disposed of lands that may be their only means of income and have limited avenues for economic mobility. In some instances, due to lack of education and training, many widows are unable to support themselves and their children. Widows are also subject to physical abuse. We know that in some parts of Nigeria, especially. We know how widows are, their hairs are shaving. They say is a traditional right. We know how some widows will be made to drink dead body water the so many the dehumanizing acts they put some widows through. I'm greeting everybody. I'm greeting you. So we all know all that. So in much of Africa, many women gain access to. Sorry, I'm repeating what I read before. Widows are also subject to abuse. Violence against widows continue to be a concern as widows fight to have their rights recognized. They are often deprived of resources to make effective changes in their lives at the micro level. Have you ever come across a widow telling you that because she's a widow and she wants to rent an apartment, people will tell her, I know that happens very well in Nigeria. And they will tell her because she's a widow, they cannot give her an apartment because they will say, if she borrows money, I mean, if she's owing money, who is going to pay it? I have had to experience where I needed a loan and people were telling me they can't borrow money because I'm a widow. And also, I remember borrowing money, and when the management of that company changed, the microfinance company changed, they called on me to pay that money, the balance that I was supposed to pay over 2 years. They said I must pay it under 3 months. And what they told me is that the Pharaoh has changed, that the management has changed. So, and that is the new thing that all the money they have outside, they want to take it. And I'm very sure it was because I was a widow then that made them say they want to collect all their money. So apart from this, all these economic effects, social castigation, and that a widow goes through, there is another aspect which a widow goes through silently and they cannot talk about. And I want to be a voice for them today. Yes, boldly, I want to be a voice for them because I saw a post somewhere where a widow, they are talking about widows and they are telling them who and who to have relationship with and who not to have relationship with. I remember, we all know traditionally, culturally in those days, even in the Bible, it is there. When a widow loses their husband, they betroth them to one of the family members in those days. And there was a reason for it. The reason is that that woman should not be lonely, number one, which is a major concern for a lot of widows. Number one, because of loneliness, so that she will not be lonely, so that she will not, loneliness will lead to a lot of issues for a woman. It can lead to mental illness, it can lead to psychological illness, it can lead to depression, sadness, it can even lead to her, committing suicide. Not only that, it can lead a woman to the extent whereby whatever she's supposed to manage financially, she will not be able to manage it. So it's loneliness is one of it, okay? And they betroth them so that the family name will continue, so that that woman does not go and marry another family and change her name. Number three, so that the woman's children will have a father figure in their lives. Another reason is that so that this woman will not turn to a social nuisance, whereby every Tom, Dick, and Harry will be sleeping with her. Because we like to pretend, and I think this since the advent of Pentecostal in Nigeria, we pretend a lot through because of the preaching they bring. We don't want to face reality that people are actually going through this thing, that people are actually going through so much pain, and they pretend. Every one of us can never be the same. Some people can manage it, but not everybody can manage it. So we pretend they are managing it, and what they are doing in the closet is better imagined. So I saw this post where people were trying to advise a widow, especially because when you are talking, it is easy for a widower, that is a man that loses the wife, to remarry, because there are lots of single women out there who are readily available for marriage for him. But for a woman, it is never the same case. And that is why you will find a woman, some women after losing their husband, they will never marry again in their life. Not because they don't desire to marry, they want to marry, but because some of them are scared of what the world will say, what people will say. Some don't even go to a relationship again because they can't find a man that will say, oh yeah, take a ring and marry you legally. They will find a man who wants to be there as a friend, as a companion, but because what will the society say? What will the people around me say? What will the world say? These kind of people will rule out relationship all through their life, and that will be the end. And throughout their life, there will not be any man in their lives. Some women, in process of going through this loneliness, tend to abuse their children. That is the adverse effects of loneliness on women, on single mothers, either widow or divorced or never be married, as long as they are single mothers. Single mothers, that's why some people will tell you that single parents, single children, I mean, children from single mothers, oh, that they don't like to marry them. You know why? They will say most of them, what they go through from their parents, especially the divorced ones, that they don't want to they don't want to marry children from broken homes, or they don't want their children to marry from broken homes, because they believe there are some things they will bring from their home into their children's marriage. I hope you are getting me. Let me be reading. Okay, I'm reading comments here. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. So in those days, we don't have all this kind of a thing. If a woman loses her husband, instantly the family members, I think it's still happening today in Kwara State. Anybody from Kwara State, especially in Ilorin, it is still something that is still working in Ilorin till now. You know, in Ilorin, people are mostly Muslims, and they don't care. I mean, their own culture, their own law allow a man to marry many wives. Okay, up till today, it is not a taboo in Ilorin to marry many wives. Up till today, it is not a taboo in Ilorin for a man who lost their child, who lost the wife. I mean, for a woman who lost her wife, for them to betroth her to be, is it betrothed? I think I'm right. To give her to one of the members of the family to take over. They still do it as that today. This present moment I'm talking, it is still like that in Ilorin, Kwara State in Nigeria. The advent of Pentecostalism in Nigeria started preaching one man, one wife, which was not our culture, which has never been our culture. And things started changing. And today, that is why we have people talking against polygamy. Now, according to what I said I saw, let me read it out to you. There was a debate going on a page on Facebook. May Walaka, if you get to see this, I am only trying to use this to enlighten widows, okay? So, you know, it was a kind of, I don't know which of our pages I saw this thing. Yeah. Okay, advising the widows. Number one, the first one, the last one she posted is that you are a widow. You lost your loved one, not your dignity or value. Stand tall and be strong for yourself and your kids. Your husband's friend is a no. Now, many other this thing, advice like that concerning how a widow should operate, you know, so many. And okay, another one she posted, dear widow and widowers, yeah, you can remarry after mourning, but please not your late spouse's friend or associate. So that was what I saw that triggered me doing this. And because I have seen a lot of people during my experience, the video of my experience that I posted on YouTube, come to me. I mean, I've seen their comments. One or two of them have called me. There is a particular one that called me and we were on the phone for 2 good hours. You know, she cried. And at the end of the day, I was happy. She laughed. And our own incident just happened barely a year ago. And she said, Auntie, is this how I'm going to continue to live my life? I said, that is your choice. I said, it is on you. But if you ask me, I will say you don't have to make that choice if you want to live normal, because we are not created to live alone. No man is created to survive alone. I remember I used to do piggery. I've mentioned this and I always analyze this story when I'm talking about relationship. I do piggery business before. When you put pigs together, you see them happy. By the time you take one of the pigs away, you will see the one you take away feeling sad. You will see the rest looking for the one you take away. So why do we think we as human beings are going to go through life alone and be okay? There are so many stages to widowhood, and I'm going to outline them one by one. The first one is sorry, I took my time to really prepare for this, so you will just let me uh, take it one by one. Okay, so there are stages to widowhood. The first stage is the grief. This stage of grief is the biggest blow, and at the same time, very difficult to accept. You know, it will be a stage whereby you will be like, did it happen? No, it has not happened. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I will wake up. That stage, you start, you get to a stage you want to, should you accept that this has happened? Will you accept it has not happened? You kind of, the trauma, nobody can explain it because it hits us differently. Okay? But I want to tell you the pain is similar, especially if the man is a loving man. I've had one or some women say they wish their husband is not alive. And I will say, why are you saying this? They will tell me, the man is this. And I will say, don't wish this thing on yourself. No matter how bad the man is, it is better you are living apart than wish him dead. I'm telling you, this is a raw fact. My page is reality. If you are not, if you can't handle truth, don't listen to me. Okay? So I will tell such women, I say, it is better that man is still alive, even if he's a bad husband. Let him stay apart while you are apart. Then you can relate from afar. Not only because of anything, you still have to relate with him. He's the father of your children. And I always look at them, it's because you have not experienced it. If you have experienced it, you will never say rubbish like that from your mouth. It is no absolute rubbish. It is absolute nonsense. Because so you first experience that grief, you first experience, and of course we react to it in a different way. Some will start crying, some will not cry at that moment because it will be like maybe it has not happened. So we react differently, and like I said, it all depends on the kind of relationship we have with our spouses that determines it. It is not a situation anybody should pray for or wish for. Honestly, it is nothing palatable about it. So the next stage after losing somebody, that person, is for this woman, because it is the most difficult stage of every woman's life. You know, at that point, you have a lot of people around you, and they kind of be a cushion for you when the thing just happened. People will be coming, you will see people to talk to, people will be telling, I remember my brother, he was this, he did this, and that will kind of be making you feel good to some extent. And you know you at that point, because people are around, this one is talking good about your husband, that one is talking good about him, somebody is telling how what he did for you, that is he did for you, he did for them, it makes you kind of feel good. And at that moment, because you are seeing a lot of people around you, you don't really the pain is not that is much, the grief is much, but you now get to another stage of that situation. Somebody said it is okay to cry over a loved one for someone that has left you, either in death or left you emotionally after a month. Me, I will not. I will put myself in the market relationship again. Me, I don't have such time. My dear love, I don't know if you are talking about somebody you married to, the father of your children. I'm yet to see a woman that will get up after a month and say, next. No, I'm yet to see it. It might be happening, no, and I will not fault whoever does it. Okay, like I'm trying to correct some notion here, so I will never fault what you say, but I am yet to see a woman that will stand up after a month, even 3 months, and say, I am ready to go into a relationship again. It's for somebody that is your husband, that you have lived with, the father of your children, somebody you have professed love for. I don't know. For me, it took me almost 3 years to come to that stage of saying, yeah, for real, this man is gone, and for real. And the loneliness at that time was really, really getting to me. So I think, like you said, we react to situations differently. So maybe there will be, you are the strong people. We have some strong people like that who will be like, there is nothing I can do, it's gone, it's gone. But for somebody like us, who I call myself roots, you know, the people they call roots, those are people who cling to their men. My husband was my everything. He became my father, he became my mother, he was my friend, he was everything, you know. He's somebody that he was somebody that before I sneeze, he can read me just like I can read him. We were that close. And even when it happened, people were scared for my life. So some people, we are stronger than each other. That's just what I would say. So now you get to the stage of loneliness, the feeling after the grief, after everybody has gone. Somebody said, I know someone close who within two or so months was having true dating sites. Like I said we are different, but me, I've not seen maybe the kind of people I know around me, but I won't fault them too. Seriously, because it will take you to walk in that shoe to know how to react. And that's why I said somebody that has not walked in that shoe cannot advise people on what to do. And why am I saying? Let me get to the stage of loneliness, then I will now get to the stage of that advice. Now, the stage of loneliness. Now, when you lose somebody, your husband, your partner, your wife, it creates a form of a gap in your life because you fill that gap for a purpose, right? We marry for a reason. We marry for companionship, primarily, right? So that companionship is no more there. You don't have any companion again. You want to do something, there's nobody to call. You can't be calling your friend's husband. You can't call your husband's friend all the time. You can't be calling your neighbor. You can't be call. They will read meanings to it. So at that point, you don't know who to call. At that point, how are you, Isha? Welcome. At that point, you don't know who to talk to. At that point, you don't know who to call. You are at a point whereby um, if you have loving people around you, loving families, then it makes it easier. But not every one of us is that lucky. If you are the type whereby you have good brothers, good sisters. I know a widow whereby when it happened to her family stepped in instantly. They stepped in and they were there for her. For such person, it will be easy for her to maneuver away and move and do things. But for some people like us, where we found ourselves all alone at a point, church was not there, family was not there, you know, when my husband was alive, and that is why I advise people, don't say because you get married, abandon your friends. Don't say so. I didn't abandon my friends purposely. I abandoned friends because I felt they were unbelievers. And because I'm a Christian, you know, born again. And because of that, I thought my old friends were in the world. And I stopped mingling with them. So by the time I got married, I had very few friends left. In fact, I can count. So by the time the incident happened, no friend, no family, no church. So I and my children were virtually left alone. So you get to that stage of loneliness and you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to confide in. You don't know who to call on. You don't know who to ask for advice. So that stage is a very, very sensitive, dangerous, and That is the stage I am talking about, but I will not talk about it now. I will get to that. So that's another stage that you get to, the stage of loneliness, the feeling of emptiness, the feeling of being alone, the feeling of who do I call, the feeling of who is at night in the cold. The Bible that says two heads are better than one, that when one is cold, the other will give it warmth, knows what it's saying. It says, it simply means we are not created to be alone. We are created to be together. We are created for a purpose to for that warmth. So that warmth will not be there. In the middle of, I remember one time in the middle of the night, I woke up to pee. And because I'm the type that when I'm sleeping, I wake up, I don't want that sleep to go away. So instead of opening my eyes to go to the bathroom, I close my eyes so that my pee would, I mean, that my sleep will not go away. And I was walking to the bathroom, and I hit my leg on the bed wood. I'm somebody that has a very long nail on my toe. My the nail on my toe, you know, was yanked off through the bed wood. I was almost going bonkers on that day. And I was like, who do I call? Who do I call? Oh, who do I call? Oh? And I was rolling with serious pain. Nobody to tell me sorry. That was the day the need for relationship dawned on me. Now, I'll still call, there's something I'm bringing out. So please keep this one by the side and this loneliness aspect, because that is exactly the place I am going to. That is where that particular post I'm talking of actually came from. So you get to that stage whereby you, even the stage of controlling your urge, that is the time your urge will eat you bad if you are still young. And that is why it is considered that when a woman is not up to 60, she is not considered a widow. She's not considered to stay in that widowhood forever. It is when you are 60, you lose your husband, people can tell you there is no need for relationship again. But if you are still in your 30s, I've seen people, somebody comment under my post, my experience says she's in her 20s and she has lost her husband with 2 kids. Are you going to tell me that type of lady should continue that way? I'm still coming, oh. So that stage of loneliness is very, very hard. Now, there's another stage of facing the world alone. Now, the moment a woman loses her husband, when, the grief is starting to leave her and she has to face the world, she has to face reality, she has to face taking care of her children and doing her business. That is the time she has to go out. And when people will see and say, it is well. My sister, sorry, that thing can pain. That thing can make you feel worse. When somebody will look at you, it is not well. And they will tell you, my darling sister, it is well with you. It is well. We are praying for you. We are with you. Yeah, it is good to say all that. But please don't be saying it too often. It get us that in the pay widow for body. I'm telling you, I'm speaking the mind of widows because I have spoken to a lot of them. They call me, they talk to me, but consider the fact that once they know that I say, this one I'm doing now, they will call because they really need people to talk to and they don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to trust. They don't know who they can get close to. So as soon as that grief is fading away and you have to start facing the world, you go outside to start doing your business. That is another phase you have to come to terms with. Because in the process, people will cheat you. In the process, you will have people you have issues with. And you don't have that your husband to call to report to. In the day, when you have husband, when anything happens, it's your husband you will call. Hello, sweetheart. Come and see. I just do this one finish. And this woman did this. And this brother did this. I don't know what to do. And your husband will tell you, don't worry, I'm coming. I will handle it. So many things you handle on your own. You are not handling it there. But you get to that stage, you have to face it. Challenges of life that you were handling with your husband, you are not handling it alone again with him. You are doing it all alone. Now, coupled with the children, the challenges of taking care of your children, the challenges of taking care of your business, the challenges of taking care of home fronts. That is if you have good in-laws. God help you if you don't have bad in-laws. In-laws that will come when you and your husband were building houses, they were not there. They will now come and they will feel they have the right to that house, not minding that your children are there to take care of. I am lucky. I have very good in-laws. They didn't disturb me. They didn't give me nothing, no, but they never disturbed me to ask me what my husband left. Moses Olaniran, what is all this link you are putting down, please? Oh, okay. You say Aduni make me laugh. What is poo in Western world? Yeah, Baba, you might distract me. So, you know, if God help you, if you don't have a good in-law. So widows go through so much. Some of us, our in-laws, they didn't disturb me. Oh, I no go sin against them. They don't have to give, but they did ask me, how much did your husband leave? What is the worth of the house? We want to take over the house. No, they never did. I don't know, maybe because, and that is why I advise couple, especially you men, that you'll be fighting your wife. It's your children you will suffer later if anything happens to you. My husband was the type that, probably because of his love for me, whatever he is doing in my own interest. Like when we were to buy our landed property, when he bought the landed property, he just wrote Mr. and Mrs. Ipaye, and he gave me the property document and said, keep, is your property. When I saw Mr. and Mrs. Ipaye, I said, Oga, Uncle Daddy, because me, I can play, and they play with my husband. I said, bros, what is this that I'm seeing? I saw Mr. and Mrs. Ipaye. He said, I said, Abba, anybody can be Mr. and Mrs. Ipaye. I have not seen my name. Go and change it, please. I'm begging you, Oga, if you love me. So the man went to change it, and they included my first name in the document. So he has already tidied up documents even before he left. The only thing he did not do is to do will, because he was even too young. Nobody prayed. We were even still planning so many things together when he left suddenly. Now let's consider widows that don't even have property, that the husband left in a rented apartment. Either you like it or not, they will come to a stage of desperation. Either we want to accept that fact or not, they will come to a stage of anybody will call them and they will answer to pay their bills. Now, that stage of loneliness that I was talking about before diverting, like I told you, is a stage where responsibility is falling on the woman. So many things is falling on her to take care of, and she has come to the terms of, I have to struggle through life. And after all the wahala, she comes back home to an empty bed. So that loneliness will eat her more. You know, after all the stress, nobody to tell her, how was your day? Sorry, okay, let me massage your back. Nobody to straighten her back for her. You know that straightening I'm talking overnight, that cuddling that will make her strong and wake up in the morning. And most times, most widows wake up in the morning feeling lonely, crying, pity, and everything. So that is another one. Now, we now get to another stage that a widow has to pass through. That is the stage whereby people will now do not know what to tell her, that I was talking of. That is when you, especially Christians, you will hear Christians tell you, everything happens for a reason. We take the righteous because before the days of evil. If you are okay, since you are righteous, you're supposed to go. Make you leave people who are not righteous. I hate that statement with passion. Hello, I hate that statement with passion. Somebody telling me, we take the righteous, it happens for a reason. What reason? Let's be mindful of what we say to people. Money, especially young widows and widowers. What reason is enough to take somebody's partner? Another statement they make, especially among Christians. I don't know if Muslims do it. I'm talking as somebody who has been with Christians. Your husband is in a better place. Just be praising the Lord. Really? You to pack your load and go if he's in a better place. That is another stage a widow deals with. The words people speak without knowing that those words are like a knife cutting into our wounds the more. I once had a woman come to my house one day while I was still in the widow something. I have not started going out. She said she came to check up on me and the children. My husband's burial ground is in the front of in the compound, in the front of the house. This woman got to where the burial ground was, and she said, she called my husband's name and said, Eku oju orun. I was like, Eku oju orun. That means continue to sleep, right to my face. I said, continue to sleep. And I asked her, I said, what sleep is he sleeping? He said, he's just greeting him. And I said, you have to do it in my presence. And I told her, if he's sleeping, can you please wake him up for me? Can you please help me to wake him up? Let's be mindful what we tell young widows and young widowers. You say he has gone to be in a better place. In a better place. Why did I marry him if he's supposed to be in a better place? Or why did the wife marry him? Or the man marry the wife? You marry somebody and under maybe 5-6 years, the man die, or 10 years after marriage, when you are just starting life together, and somebody will tell you, he has gone to be in a better place. Okay, you too, that is, it's a better place. Pack your load and go. What better place is for a man or a woman to be by their partner? Why did we marry? Then we can as well, if it's a better place, then we don't have to marry. We can as well just have children. Anyway, your boy is planning that already without getting married. You think it's a pain? Your worst enemy should not go through this pain we are talking of. As at yesterday, to let you know that this pain does not go. As at yesterday, I was packing some stuff in my bedroom. And I saw my husband's picture, his ID card. I still have all of them. His ID card, his youth service picture. I came out, I saw them where I put them. I looked at him and said, Bobo, you fine, Sha. I said, Bobo, you fine, Sha. I wish this man is still alive. And somebody would tell me he's in a better place. Better place. What are they doing in that better place? How many people has gone to that better place and come back? I'm asking you. Tell me any member of your family that has gone to come back and tell you it is a better place than to be alive. Then if it is a better place, those of you that utter those such useless statements, you will say it's a statement of faith. Useless. Which kind of useless statement of faith is that? You are using dagger to pierce that woman's pain. They may not be able to bold enough to tell you. I am speaking from somebody who has gone through it, that has spoken to a lot of widows, because I'm more like a the grammar in widowhood as it is. This is 18 years. Pikin where them born that time, where it happened to me, go don't born now. Many of them don't born, they don't bear pikin. If they know go school. And you want to tell me, what's better place? You people just open mouth, wow, all in the name of you are doing your faith and Christianity thing, and you utter what is causing more pain to that person carrying the pain. Another statement they will make is that, don't worry, you will be fine. Don't worry. What are you doing to make that person fine? Some people will tell you, don't worry, it will be fine. They will still be the person to nail you more, to cause more pains. The only thing you can do to a widow, if you want it to be fine with her or him, especially women, because they are the ones that are receiving her more. If you know any young widow, for you to know it will be fine with her, even if you now cannot go to visit, carry your phone once, if possible, every day. Text a message, my darling sister, I'm just checking up on you. It is well. You see, it is well yet tomorrow. Even if you say it is well, I'm just checking up on you and the children. hugs from here. I love you. That is one of the best a widow wants to hear from anybody. Or you carry the woman, alert, and send her details. Auntie, no vex, so my darling sister, I just send you little change for the children. That widow that is weak where she's standing, sitting, she will stand up. Is a booster to their pain. I mean, it's a booster to get her out of the pain. Is a booster to her pain. Or buy some provision. It doesn't matter how little. It doesn't matter how cheap. Buy some provision. Go and visit her. It's even there in the Bible where God says, I mean, the Bible says, not God, they wrote the Bible, where it was written that this is the kind of fast that I desire. That the widows should be visited. Go and say hello to her. But of course, we know how it works. I'm coming to that stage. If I can't finish it today, I will do part 2. Because this is a long thing. A situation you have not passed through, you cannot advise people on it. So that is another statement they will make. It is well. Your husband is in a better place. Another one they will now tell you is that, you better be thanking God. It could have been worse. Hello. So once you say, Oluwa mo dupe, once you say, God, I thank you that my husband has left. It could have been worse. I thank you. It is better you don't say all those things. No, it's not necessary. It is not. Allow the widow to process that in her brain on her own and come to that acceptance. She knows her husband. She knows whether it could be worse or it could be better. Maybe if the man was sick and they have been spending a lot of money, or maybe, but don't go telling people money who just lost their loved one. A young loved one, no, we are not talking of old people. If old people go, it's okay. Young person, you don't go telling them it could have been worse, or you don't go telling them is in a better place, or you go telling them it is well, because it is not well. No, it is not well with them. You only say your own it is well, then you go into your privacy. Is it truly well with her where she is? Is it truly well with her? Is she okay where she is? Is she crying? Somebody became a phobia for me during my early years. Why did this person become a phobia? You know what a phobia is? Something that causes you anxiety and fear. Each time this lady sees me, auntie, it is well with you. And she will change her face like somebody crying. Somebody will just bench with her husband, though. We just eat food, finish, yo. We just enjoy, finish, yo. She will now come, do her face like somebody crying. And see, me that I've tried to make my steps strong when I was going out. By the time I will see her, and see, it is well with you. Did you sleep? Your face looked like somebody that did not sleep. Did you cry overnight? And it got to a point, I dread meeting her. I don't want to see her, because each time she does that, I feel worse. Each time she does that, I go into depression again. Each time she does that, I start crying. And the next thing is to go into my car somewhere, or go somewhere, and I will be crying again. Oluwa, ọjọ́ wo ni màá bọ́ nínú kíní báyìí? Ẹni tí mọ̀ pé mi ò sùn mọ́jú. And truly, I didn't sleep overnight for real when she sees me. But why rub it in? And the next thing is that I will be crying that she's so is that, I start having this self-pity So the thing is really showing all over me. So I'm really that I really changed. And of course, if I show you my picture of that time, if I show you my picture of that time, it's not something you want to wish for your enemy. No, it's not. And if you do this pity party, it's worsening the situation of that person involved. Ordinary hug is all she needs. Ordinary holding her hand, pressing it tight is all she needs. Ordinary pecking her cheeks is all she needs. Just do this if you don't know what to say, than saying all these things that I've counted and say it is well. Did you sleep overnight? Look at your face. Well, it got to a point. I stood in the front of my mirror and I said, nobody will pity me again. I didn't even know that my children self noticed their mother has changed. One day, when I would decide enough is enough, say, now only me waka come. Now I carry makeup that day. I put makeup, I apply little makeup on my face. I wanted to go and pick my children in school. Immediately, my daughter saw me. My daughter jumped for joy and jumped on me. Mommy, you look beautiful. Very young girl, oh. But you're 6, I'll be 7 years old then. Mommy, you look so different today. You look beautiful. And I was taken aback. So these children too noticed that my life has changed. And since that day, I decided when I'm going out, I must apply color on my face. I carry all the black clothes where I go buy because I have to go and buy dark Ankara. And so I pack all the Ankara, pack them, throw away them. Go buy bright colors, change all my wardrobe. Not immediately, I was changing gradually. And you will not believe the yeye people where they do kerewa with their own husband inside the house, where they enjoy their life, they perfect, they no get problem, they know they lonely. Cold, you no catch them. They saw me wearing bright colors again. One of them went to tell somebody. I've mentioned, if you listen to my experience that I did on YouTube, I mentioned a Baptist pastor that I said his ministry is into widowhood. That this man really helped me during the work. They went to tell this pastor because they know he's close to me. To go there, this pastor should go and tell me I am dressing too much. I should reduce my dressing. Me, when I tell you, say I know they talk like this. Now waiting, they take me through. Now he turn me to talker, and nobody can shut my voice. As they tell me that thing, you know what thing I tell them? I say, make them go help me tell the woman, say, waiting she talk, her children, if she experience them now, she don't hold past me small. She no go know the pay. Say her children go experience waiting she tell me. Now since then, still the same person that say my husband was sleeping. Now she talk that thing. Since that time, that woman run from me. As a widow, if you don't put your feet down to live your life, now woman being, people around you, after enjoying in their own house, in their own room with their husband, now then go come tell you how to live your life. Now you go run into depression. Shebi na only when you won't cry, anybody they cry with you. It's only you that will be crying in the room. Yes. Anybody, you cannot even go and meet them to borrow you money. Now then go advise you how to live your life. When they tell me that, and say she talk, say I did too dress. Now I have to kuku still change my dressing. Say anybody we won't die, make it die. You can't tell me you know my husband better than me. Neither can you tell me I don't love my husband. Everybody that knows me and my husband know that we are like this, 5 and 6. Say anything you want to say. Now I kuku throw caution to the wind. I begin live my life. Say I be meant. I kuku change my dressing. Go back to my toning cream. Say if I now want peme, make it not peme. Whether now my life I dey live. So you people, I was like, so you people want to just see me. You want me to die? How old are my children? I have a 2-year-old. I have a 4-year-old. And I have a 7-year-old. These people are not even helping me to pay school fees. Nobody say I see anybody, they can't give me money. Pata if una wan come visit me, na go carry basket of fruits or na go carry indomie. Now you go come tell me how to live my life. To borrow me money, na go say na no get. If you are a young widow, use your sense. Don't let anybody turn you to something else that you will not. Even if you don't get yourself together, the business you are doing, you cannot even do it well. No, you can't. You will waste money, you will lose money because you are not in your right frame of mind to make decisions at that time. It's a tough time for any woman, and anybody going through that, all they need is people to comfort them, people to hold their hands, not people to castigate them or condemn them. And that's why I love that my daddy, I'm always talking of, my adopted daddy. Daddy stood by me when I made one crazy mistake. And daddy was a witness to that mistake. Daddy came. He's a deaconess in Baptist, a senior minister. Daddy came, he said, Tony, he calls me, he said, you are my daughter. I'm never going to condemn you. Let who has not done this, let him cast the first stone. Daddy held me by the hand. He said, I'm solidly behind you. God bless daddy for me. Those are true fathers who knows that we are nothing but human beings and we are prone to fall and stand. Daddy is one of the people that stood by me and said, Tony, do this, do this. When I want to get weak, I go to daddy. The man is about almost 80 years. I will cry on his chest, Daddy, something like this has happened again. He said, my darling daughter, you will be fine. You will be fine. Oh yeah, cry, cry. When I finish, can you wipe your face? He will call mommy, the wife. Say, mommy, oh yeah, eba nfuni fruit ko je ko to ma lo. Àwọn ọmọ ńkọ́, bring my grandchildren, let them come and play with me. Don't stay around people who will condemn you. They will only finish you. If you are a young widow and you are listening to me, avoid them as much as you can. Form busy. I became very busy for anybody to. I even became a scarce commodity at a point. Thank you, Elizabeth. I became very busy. I became a scarce commodity for all of them. Now today, all of them can see where my being busy has gotten me. I have become an envy for most of them now. So I want to tell you, if you're a widow and you are listening to me, don't let anybody. Because one thing I'm going to tell you in this journey, you are bound to make mistakes. You are bound to fall. You are bound to look at yourself and say, why did I do this at a point? But trust me, don't kill yourself for any mistake you make because you are not in your right senses doing some things. Now, another aspect that a widow goes through is now the pressure of parenting as a single parent. Very tough because financially, to meet up will be tough. This is a journey. I mean, a huge load. Two people are carrying and complaining. Now it has become the load of one man. Hey, you people on Facebook, join me on YouTube. Oh. You will not see me with live show on Facebook for now again. Oh. Join me on YouTube. I am tired of Facebook wahala. I keep saying this. Now the page has been logged again. I am tired. I cannot be wasting my time on Facebook with this nonsense Facebook is doing. It's getting too much. It's not the only platform to talk. So many platforms are available. Let me see how many people. You see, a page of almost 80,000, only 30 people. They've logged the page. I won't be doing this with Facebook. I'm not ready for their wahala. Anyway, so that's why I'm not seeing some people's comments. Victor Akins, I can see you are here. So, as a young widow, you now get to the stage of being a parent, a single parent, of having to carry the load of two persons. This load, as you are carrying this load, you will need a time where you will need an advice. And that advice is not what you want to share with a public. Maybe because this advice concerns your children, or concerns you. At a point, financially, you will need help. At a point, thank you. Oh, Diana, you have joined on YouTube. Good. Very soon, we will stay on YouTube, pata, because I'm tired of the stress of Facebook. I'm tired. I'm tired. So like I'm saying, you get to that stage as a widow, parenting your children, you need a man by your side. Either a boyfriend, as a man friend, as a friend, as an uncle, as a brother, as a what again is a man, as a father. You will need a man. And apart from needing a man, you will need finances. And remember, despite all what we always say, that what a man can do, a woman can do better. Sometimes we deceive ourselves with that thing. No, that thing is relative. What a man can do, a woman can do better. There are some things a man can do. A woman will use 10 times strength to do it. There are some things a man can do, and a woman will need the wisdom of 100 people to do it. So, in the journey of your parenting your children as a single widow, parenting as a divorcee is a different thing entirely. If you have the father of your children is alive, maybe you are the one that decided, or the man that decided doesn't want to be in their life, is a different scenario. Now, for somebody that the man is not existing anymore, the man is gone and he's not coming back, you are left to making all the decision on your own. That is another tough stage for a single mother. Now, another pressure that comes to being a widow is the pressure of people telling you you need to continue to be strong. You know, you can't be strong all the time. There are days you will feel like giving up, but I will tell you, please don't give up. I have got to a stage one day, my children, three of them have gone into school. I put them in boarding house so that I can have time for my businesses, because it got to a time when I have to travel. I have to put my last born in somebody's house, in a family friend's house, to stay with them. They were not complaining. Wonderful family in this my journey that I met, and honestly, my story is not complete without them. They are members of Latter Rain, and these people are so wonderful. I have been meeting people who proclaim that I'm a Christian. I have never met somebody as wonderful as these people. They did a lot. I mentioned them in my experience. And at a point, my last born was staying with them because the other two were in the boarding school. So at a point, I put the three of them in boarding school so I can have time, my business. I told you I was doing almost, okay, at that point, I was doing just two business, my farming business and my clothing business. So the challenges, it was becoming, because I was preparing for my first son to go into university. And of course, we know the system of Nigeria. It's either he goes to public university and end up using 8 years for 4-year course, or he goes into private and do 4 years, but you have to pay through your nose. So I was at that stage of making that decision. So I was working so hard, farming, blah, blah. So I was really, I put the three of them in. This was a very wrong decision I made at that time. One day I woke up and this loneliness came upon me terribly. Whether na agro of Kerewa, where I no see duo, I no know. Remi Odwala, join us on YouTube, Ijere. We'll be doing live here instead. I don't know whether the agro of Kerewa do me. I don't know whether wetin dem fit call am. No be money be my problem at that time. I get the money. I don dey work. I dey manage my money well. No be money be my problem. So you should know, money sometimes is not the problem of a single mother and a widow at that. So no be money dey do me. But all I know say, I know say Kerewa do that time. I no go lie. I have told you this page is real talk. If you are not ready to let's listen to real talk, I beg you. Waka. Wetin I talk? Waka. All I know say, I know see Kerewa do for some time. For that time, you don't take where Kerewa come. Person wey we are the date don travel, relocate. He can't remain only me for almost 3 years. Nothing. Now I wake up this day. I don't know whether na Kerewa. All I know say I just wake up. Now I begin cry. I cry. So my eye say don't do. Nobody tell me sorry. Now me tell sorry by myself. As I tell myself sorry, finish. Now I wake up, I walk a bath. Food, I no fit chop. Water, I no fit drink. My mouth just dey sour that day. Now I carry myself, I go my farm. Now so I go stand for one corner, cry, wipe my face my business small. Now so I do throughout that day. Now so I do. I no fit chop until about 8 p.m. on that day. I was so weak. By the second day, now I fall sick. Hello. By the second day, now I fall sick. So, to say make widow dey strong at all times. There are days of vulnerability and weakness for a widow. And this is the stage I am addressing now. I want to talk on. I want to expatiate on. She has days of strength whereby she can go through weeks, months, and years without sex. But when that weakness will set on her, the only thing that will sort it is for her to see that something. You know what I'm talking? The only time her body can do kule is for her to see something, correct something, where they be say, make we stop deceiving ourselves, okay? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. I have a widow. Wey be worker for church. I no go mention the church. Where they talk to me. She say, auntie, I won't do this thing, but I dey fear. I say, fear, I say, waiting. He say, whether my pastor go know. I say, you won't tell your pastor, say you do something. He say, because pastor is always saying, as long as we are not married, we should not do this thing. I say, I be the pastor means adults should not do something. Okay, if you do and waiting be your own, I be won't do you. He say, no be say won't do am. But he say, if you do and say na sin, I say, make you go bring the place where you did for Bible, where they say matured person. Oh. I'm talking about Old Testament, not New Testament, where they don't change everything, change a lot of things. In the Old Testament of that Bible, where we they read, may them tell me where somebody gets married legally before they begin do. Shena Abraham, we see say he get married legally. Abina David, matured. We are talking about matured people. I'm talking about adults, responsible adults that should know that if he wants to do the kere wow, if you don't want belle, you know what to do. The adult that should know that if you want to do kere wow, you do it sensibly. No be dirty kere wow. We go bring nonsense to you. You go tell the person how to do. The pastor means pastor not doing wife. Pastor will be saying if in wife, no do for house. If you are vigilant enough, you will know. Now that day, pastor go palm mount pulpit, begin preach about women where they disobedient in the house. Say pastor they take and play. Or if na woman, if na pastor wife one minister, in husband they deprive am. By the time they go say make she take offering, now preaching she go start. Nonsense. Rather. You are the only one accountable to your God. Nobody has seen God to know what he wants and what he does not want. Everything that we are being given is man-made. Nonsense. Then she say, auntie, the thing is hungry me. I say, make it hungry you. Wetin you want make I do? Make I go arrange man for you. He say, whether I get, if I get. So many want to do. He say, whether if I get man. I say, we don't sign. We don't come out boldly. Say, now like this we be. Yes, Who will come and who they pay my bill? Who go tell me how to live my life? Shebi na your money you go hold. Your opinion no counts. The money where you they give me, make you no give me again. Make you Ọlọ́run má yọ̀rọ̀ kéré wà láyé tèmi. Anyway, now let's go to the main something now. So somebody said, I mean, what I'm trying to read that, they will tell you, be strong, be strong. Trust me, there are days where you are not supposed to express your emotions. You will express it. You will burst out in tears because you can only be as strong as you think you are until your strength will fail you and you can never tell when. It's a traumatic and painful experience. Nobody should wish for their enemy. But I want to tell you, it is not every shoulder you should cry to. Not every shoulder. Don't say because people are around you and you begin to do no. It is the time to guide yourself. It is the time to, there are so many times I will be weak. I just told you of an instance. And I got to my farm doing my job. When I feel I'm down again, I will quickly wipe my eyes, continue. There are days like that, and there are days you need to be strong. I was asking somebody this morning under the place I saw the post I was trying to talk about. I said, have you been in these shoes? The person is even a man. He said, no, he has never been there. And I know why he was saying it. Okay, let me just go to that post and we start full and I round up. So a guy where is the post self? Okay, I've seen it. Under the post, the poster said, dear widow and widowers, yeah, you can remarry after mourning, but please not your late spouse's friend or associates. Betrayer, ninye. That's betrayer. And I put my comments there. I said, number one, are they families? No, they are not families, right? So if in the olden days, they give a widow to family member to marry her. So what stops a widow from marrying her husband's friend? As long as it is done in the right way. And what is the right way? That is the man coming and saying, the only thing I would take object to is that if the man comes at the vulnerability of this man, of this woman, which many husband's friend do. I remember my own case. My husband has a friend. Had a friend then. In fact, during our 10th year anniversary, we were all together. We took pictures together. And shortly after my husband's death, my husband's friend came. I know the wife, we are all close. And the guy said he wanted to date me. As at that time, I was not ready for any relationship, number one. Even if I was ready, I won't go for him. But I am looking out for women, the vulnerable ones. When I'm talking about vulnerable ones, the ones that the husband will not leave anything for. I'm looking at widows whose husband does not leave anything for, who are not strong enough. Let me say not strong enough. And if I was not the strong type at that time, despite what I was going through, despite all the pains, my eyes to some extent was wide open. Okay? And my husband's friend came. My husband's friend came and started, in fact, he was supposed to handle our papers legally. And he started toasting me. And I was like, please don't do this. You are my husband's friend and your wife is close to me. Don't do this. And he said, we will do it secretly. Nobody will know. And in my mind, I said, no, this is wrong. I won't do this with you. But some women are not so strong. Now, my question is, if I had fallen for this man, just like I was blamed, even despite the fact that I did not sleep with this man, People will still blame me the way they are blaming Mercy for Adekas. Hello? This man came to me. He was supposed to undo my papers legally, the letter of administration. And this guy said, let's be doing it together. And I said, no, this is not right. He even came in the night to my house in the evening one day and said he wants to come and sleep. He will sneak and tell the wife he's going to somewhere. I said, no, I'm not going to do this with you. And because I did not agree, the paper the guy was supposed to do, he started delaying it. And this paper was supposed to be the paper that will give me access to my husband's account. And I needed the money to pay my student school fees. This guy did not allow. He didn't do it. But my saving grace was that I told my husband's sister, the senior sister, we are just like sisters if you see us. We resemble. People think she's my senior sister. On her DP is my picture she puts, and my picture and the picture we took together, that is on her DP. That is how close we are. So I called her and I told her, sir, big mommy, she said, what am I going to do? The paper and call. If we take it to another place, they will charge you. I say, yes, but I don't know what to do. The woman said I should just be playing along, but I should make sure he doesn't sleep with me. That daddy I just mentioned, that I say my father is like a father to me. I told daddy too. I said, daddy, this daddy know this man. My daddy was very shocked. And he said, don't mind him, just be stringing him along. String him until you finish the paper. At the end of the day, the guy don't finish the paper. By the time the wife got to know that he was toasting me, the wife came to fight me instead of fighting the husband. Hello? Ẹ̀yin obìnrin kò ya wèrè. Wàláì. Kí lẹ gbọ́? Some of you married women, I know they get sense. Your man will go outside to be disturbing women, to be looking for vulnerable women to take advantage of. You will be fighting the woman outside. Are you guys for real? Are you guys for real? A vulnerable woman will fall for any man. Stop deceiving yourself. Because of what? This flesh. Sometimes she will have done it and go into her closet and be crying that why did I do this? But the man that came to take advantage of her weakness, what are you saying concerning that man? You are clapping for the man. You will say exactly the same thing one useless man was telling me on that page. He said if the man should go to the woman, can't the woman say no? I say, are you for real? Why will a man go to a woman that he knows that this woman is my friend's wife? Why will he ever do that? This woman I'm not supposed to talk this kind of a thing to her. And you face the woman, calling the woman names, and that man will be walking around freely. You see all the pains we put on women and allow men to be walking around freely doing nonsense, doing rada. So I told the lady in my comment, I said, relationship can be found anywhere. And mind you, someone that is mourning is weak and vulnerable at that time. As long as the man can take care of her and is genuine and is ready to go the right way, not to be using her. I said, I don't see any betrayal here. To the extent she is even saying, even the family and the acquaintance, the man's acquaintance, the man's associates is a no-no. If you say those people are no-no, then who will she go to? Who will come for her? Is it not before somebody will toast you? There are people that will have been looking at you or seeing you, right? From afar, as this lady, and they know you are single and they will approach you. Why do we like deceiving ourselves in that our community? Why do we think we know it all, especially in a work we have never worked? You telling a woman, you don't face the women, the men. Men are the ones who go for these women most times, in most cases, at least in my own case. There is another very close friend of my husband that even when they were young, I used to be the one to cook for them when they were in school. This guy came, he doesn't have a wife. But why I did not, I would have married him if he did it the right way. I'm telling you, and I won't give a damn what anybody says. Because this is about me. It is my life. This guy, why didn't I agree for him? This guy is not married, which is a good one. Number two, after I lost my husband, I didn't hear anything from him. Then maybe some years later, when he heard I was in America, he started disturbing me. And I said, I abuse him, tire. I said, you crazy, you meant. Where were you when I was struggling with these children? Yes, I know you don't have a wife. It would have been a good opportunity. Honestly, I would have married you, but you are coming at the wrong time. So you are a no-no. Is he my husband's brother? Is he my... If they were giving people their husband's brother to marry in those days, and it was acceptable in the society then, why is it not acceptable now to date your husband's acquaintance or friend? I'm asking, in those days, they can give women to marry their husband's brother, their husband's family. It was acceptable. The women were not looked down on. The women were accepted into the family. Even the wife at home will accept that woman. It was a norm that was working. And even then, we have peace. Children were well brought up then. How come today? So what stops a woman if the husband's associate said, I want to date you? Woman, listen and listen good. If you allow some group of people who start the religion outline how to live your life for you, you are the one that will live miserable till you will die. No wonder many of you at age 30 something, at age 40 something, you are looking very old. No wonder many of you cannot get your head straight. Don't you know, with a man by your side, having relationship gives you a mental balancing and emotional balancing. I tried it and I know the difference when I started having relationship. It even helped me in my work. The loads that would have been heavy for me, the guy was helping me to carry it. There are times I will be busy at farm. He will be the one to help me to say, okay, where are you? And I'll say, please, can you help me to quickly pick the children? He will go and pick them and drop them, then go on his own. Who are you to tell anybody how to live their life? You have not walked in the shoes of a widow. You cannot tell a widow who to date and who not to date. How many men they are available for them to date? Somebody says something is wrong. It's just the perception. Okay, what about a man, a woman that is given to the husband's brother to marry? Nothing is wrong with that. Skid kudi. I'm asking, skid kudi. Anybody that can do without it, fine. We are not the same. We are not created the same. No. Shebi, some pastors are doing 40 days fasting. They are not payment. One pastor do 40 days fasting. He payment. The only thing I will say is that if such man come, tell him, go and tell your wife you want to marry another woman. If you can do this, if you can do it. Not to come and be using you. That is the only comma that is there. That is the only comma. Okay, I want to come, because most of them, they will only come and take advantage of you and your vulnerability. It doesn't have anything to offer you. If somebody like that come, so husband or a brother is different. Really? May I know the difference, please? Can I know the difference? Okay, a number is on. Can you start, guys? You guys can call in. Can I know the difference between because it's still within the family, and that's tradition. But that one is the husband's friend is a total stranger, right? Abi is not a total stranger. Please, can you guys call in? Let me pin my number. My number is rolling on the distance, but I'll still pin it. Okay, I want you to call in. Somebody, if something happens to my brother, God forbid, I'm taking, God forbid. But they used to do it in those days and it's acceptable. It was an acceptable thing in the society. Even in the Bible, it was acceptable. It was being done. Do you guys want to call in? Let me put the comments. Let me put my number. Somebody said, I don't see anything wrong as long as the man or woman is not married. We just set some rules that doesn't exist, and God bless you, and are immaterial. Because I feel even marrying your husband's brother is that is the one me I like his junior brother, and they will say is your go for him. No. But if my husband's friend he come, he won't marry me, I go tell him, go and tell your wife. You have to do it the right way. If your wife agrees. That was then. That was then. So what changed? People, all these things are man-made rules that they are setting. Whatever works for everybody, let them do it. Whatever works. Society changes. Okay, society changes, then this can happen too. Why do you want to castigate and focus on a woman because the man went to her? As long as she is not the one that went to that man, trust me, she has not done anything wrong. The only person that has done something wrong is a man who sees the wife, the husband's, his friend's wife, and went to her. That is what many people are thinking, that marrying your husband's friends makes it look like you are having an affair before your husband died. That is what many people are saying, but that's a big lie. People will talk, no matter even if the man know there, you know, they where the man did before he died, they will say anything. Go and ask widows what their ears, what people say in their ears. Some have been accused of killing their husbands. Either you do, you don't do, people will talk. My own is that allow widows to live their life. Traditions and cultures were made by men to favor the men only. God bless you. Let me pin this person wey get correct head, Jere. You all have correct head, no mind me. That's not what I mean. Before you would think I'm trying to talk to you. Wetin woman do all of una? Even if you don't look, even if you marry somebody else too, if you marry maybe like 1 year after the man die, you go and marry a total stranger, they will talk. They will talk. So it's the one that you said that one is still better for a brother to steal with the wife's brother. Now that one better than a total stranger that they just met on a neutral ground. Widow don't see for una high. Women don't see. I should not even say only widows. Women don't see. Women don't see. Even when a man decides to marry like that, at the end of the day, people will not still focus on that man. It is still the woman they will focus on. Shebi she knows. She married her husband's friend. She married her friend's husband. And the man, nobody will talk about the man. The same way, just exactly what we discussed concerning Adekas and Mercy yesterday. Adekas did not know that Mercy and the friend, they know each other. In those days, when they were doing this thing, like Pete said, there is a tradition in those days. When they were doing it, do we have single mothers as we have today? Do we have many single mothers on the streets the way we, in those days, do we have them today? All those things, tradition that we think were bad, were actually helping in those days. Some were bad, some were good. It is better to neither date a friend or a brother. Okay? For some people, they might have to stay forever like that. But one thing I want to say is that why I'm doing this, anyone, if you are a widow, you find yourself in these shoes and the deed is done, don't kill yourself over it. Don't feel guilty. Let the man that came to you feel the guilt. Okay? As long as you are not the one that went for that man. Okay? Okay, Kudi, you said Pakistani marry their relatives. We just box women. Here, Oyinbo does not care. They live their life. Women give explanation to anything or everything. Set your rules and give your own explanation. It is good. You don't even owe anybody explanation. It is good for you and bad for others, but it is your rule. Rule your life. Rule your world. My darling brother, I'm loving your comments. Rule your life. Rule your world. Nobody is paying your bills. Don't tell adults what to do. As long as they are not a danger to anybody. Even this Adeka's thing that we talked yesterday, Adeka's wife has a choice to make in this decision, in this situation. Yes, they said Mercy is her friend, and this thing has happened. She has a choice to either accept Mercy or leave the husband for Mercy. Whatever is not working for you, you have a choice. The only thing I don't like in this, when it happens, what I know most of these husbands' friends do is they take advantage. They don't mean well. They never mean well when they come around you. The one that mean well will tell you straight, I want to marry you. And they will handle the rest. But any of your husband's friend coming and doesn't define the relationship he wants to have with you, he is only coming to chop and clean mouth. Those are the ones you should never, ever agree or give opportunity to. And when you have to, in fact, even if the person is not somebody you know, if you have to, as a widow, protect your property. Because some men will come to a widow not for anything, but to steal their property. Somebody said the Jewish people and Pakistan don't marry outside their extended family. They like to keep the wealth in the family. That is why they do it in the family too in those days, whereby they will let you marry the next brother so that the inheritance and everything is not, because automatically when a woman remarries, the other family don't have any right on her again. The day she will decide to say, I'm married to another man, and she start bearing that man's name. So if Pakistanis are doing it, the Jewish are doing it, then why do we think it's a sin? Why do we think it is not acceptable? All because we always look for every fault concerning women, while we allow the men go around freely. Today now we have many single mothers littered all over the place. We have so many single women littered all over the place. We are condemning everything that will help. You better don't have plenty children again, because it has getting to that extent. Peace Oduwa, you said this Mercy issue should not be supported. So I should beat Mercy for Adekas that has 4 children and decide to use his head upside down and go for another woman. Sorry, I don't follow crowd like that. I look at things critically. Yes, Mercy might have his faults. Okay? And if you look at it as very well critically too, is Mercy related to Adeka's wife? They are not related. Okay, they've been friends at a point. I agree. She shouldn't have agreed for that man. Okay? Probably to keep the friendship. But if Mercy does not agree, another woman will agree for Adeka's, right? Okay, you say if another woman agree for Adeka's, that is a different scenario. But that is another woman, and it could have been worse than what Mercy is doing. I will not blame Mercy for Mama, you be woman, support women team. Oh. So I'm not supporting women now by going for Adekas. Me, I will not fight Mercy. Neither will I fight Funsho. It is Adekas that is at fault in this case. And in this same scenario that I'm talking about, if a husband's friend going for the wife, wife of his friend, it is the man that is at fault. So I am not supporting women by talking this way. So I should beat the women, knowing that women, we are vulnerable, we are weak, and we have situations that make us weak, that make us cry to the wrong shoulder. Hello? It's objective not to support anyone. Probably because you are just watching my videos. I have once spoken about Mercy. In fact, I did about 2 or 3 videos for Mercy. Okay? But at this point, at this stage that we have, every other blame goes to Adekas, not Mercy. Adekas no carry, Mercy no carry rope, tie Adekas, carry and go for Valentine. Now Adekas taking leg waka, follow Mercy. Yeah. If he's a normal man, if he's using his head, he will have given Mercy excuses for that trip. Or even if they go for that trip, he will have find a way to caution what Mercy is putting out, knowing that his children and family are there. Why do we allow men to be walking around freely while we are facing women? The same thing, a man will go and do something. A woman will go and fight a woman outside. You know, this is not okay now. And you will not be able to talk to your husband. I saw a video of a woman fighting another woman. They naked themselves inside gutter because of a man. And the man was standing saying, what is wrong with us as a woman? So we should continue to clap for the men. Why will a man go and meet the wife, the friend's husband? You go and meet a woman who is lonely, who is ready. She will take it. Stop deceiving yourself. Stop living in denial. If it takes you to tango, the one that tango with the man, why would the man go and meet her? If the man go and meet her, if she's not at her weakest, maybe she will say, Even me, Scooty, you are not being fair. Now you say these are 2 grown people that the most important thing is the man has happiness. Can you imagine? So the woman does not deserve happiness. So a woman does not deserve happiness. A lonely woman does not deserve happiness. Don't go and meet a woman at her weakness. So talk to your husband. If you talk to your husband, now your husband make you respect himself. There are some men that I can say, yes, these are men. I have my husband's friend who came very close to us. The man has been there for us for a long time. He's still there for us. And he has never looked at me seductively. He has never looked at me beyond that I'm the friend's husband. He calls my children up till now to greet them. Check on us up till now. This moment I'm talking. I can call him now and greet him. Daddy, when I finish talking to him, he hands over the phone to the wife. And the wife is comfortable around us. The wife will excuse us when we need to talk because she knows her husband. It's insecurity. You know your husband. Instead of you fighting your husband, you'll be a fighting woman. There are men who are wicked. They know the weakest of a woman, and they prey on that weakest, on weak points. Of course, a woman that her husband has died, a woman that her husband has died, a woman that is lonely, needs an arm around her, is your husband you should talk to. Is men you should talk to. If they need to help such women, they help from the distance. They should not be putting nonsense in her brain. They put nonsense in her brain, she will fall for it. Stop deceiving yourself. She will fall flat for it. God help you if you go enjoy your man. She enjoyed the man, she will continue. It's the truth. God help you, she doesn't enjoy the man. She enjoys the man, she will continue. Somebody is saying, ma, do you know some women go after men physically and spiritually? They've been saying it. I don't know about it. I've never done it. I've heard people say it, that some people will put something in the eyes, they will do like this, and the woman will be follow them. The woman won't chop before ni. Then now him be say the man self won't chop before. Now so in the day easy to catch man because somebody blink. Okay, oyinbo wey dey collect somebody husband, then they do juju too, abi? Hello? Abi oyinbo no dey collect people husband. We dey share for here now. You know they see, especially our black sisters here, they fight over man here. Now juju dem dey take do that, dem get something wey dem dey take do like this for them. Eye jẹ́ ayé tanra wa jèrè. Ọkùnrin ti jó ní ṣekúṣe. Man wey be say na man wey no dey sit for one place, wey dey do because he's been doing it secretly. You don't know before. Let me tell you that story I was telling you of that my husband's friend that was a lawyer that came. When the wife heard that the man was toasting me, she came, she slapped me, wanted to fight me. Before people heard me, I should not fight her. And I cursed her on that day. I cursed her husband. The way I cursed her was what happened to her. Today, she too, she's a widow. And I went back to her, me, you cannot hurt me and go scot-free. If I let you go, it's only for a while. When I'm ready for you, I will come big time. I went back to her when she lost her husband too. And I told her, I said, Mama Lagbaja, I hope this thing is sweet. You can see how sweet it is. And by now, I know your husband's friends are toasting you too. Or maybe one of them have even slept with you. She couldn't talk. She felt so ashamed of herself because she knows what she did when her husband told her, when she got to know her husband was toasting me, because I told somebody and the person I told went to tell her that her husband was toasting me. She never gave me any benefit of doubt. She came straight for me. Even supported, she stood by the side of her husband, gave me a dirty slap. Today, she's in a worse shoe than me. Which man? Any man wey waka yaya waka, useless waka, now that man make you hold him leg to stop his useless waka up and down. You go and meet a woman that is vulnerable. If I'm the type that is vulnerable, that guy will have slept with me. He enticed me with everything and anything. He enticed me with everything. He will be sending me credit on my phone. At a point, he said, if I agree for him, he will give me money. And I said, no. Okay, I can say no. How many women will say no? Because I know I don't need his money. What if I needed money at other points and I needed to pay some bills? Are you guys for real? Are you guys for real? If you have not walked in his shoes, don't tell me what you can do. Get to that shoe, then come back and tell me this is how you overcome it. Yeah? If you have not walked in a shoe, don't start putting out blames. Walk in that shoes, overcome it, then come back and tell me, this is how I overcame. I just told you a story, how I did. I had some money, so I didn't need his money. I told him, no, don't give me money. I was just begging. I said, please, just do these papers. Please, so that I can pay my children's school fees out of the money in my husband's account. And he said, until I agree for him. And he showed me, he has started the papers, he has put it in the probate already. But he said he was not going to go ahead until I agreed to sleep with him. So I kept avoiding him. If he calls, I will not pick his call. If he sends me a message, I will not respond. At the end of the day, I got upset, and after I fought with them, I collected my papers and I went to the probate to go and do it. I had to do it on my own at the end of the day with my sister-in-law. And it didn't even cost us anything to do it. Yes, they took the percentage out of it, but at the end of the day, we did it even faster. Under 3 months, the paper was ready. This is a paper I gave him, and almost 2 years, he was holding on to the paper. Face the right people. Stop facing women who are vulnerable. Stop making women who are vulnerable to feel that they are useless or they are dirty. No, it doesn't make any woman dirty. If any woman falls for their husband's friend, it doesn't make them dirty. It is just because that man took advantage of their situation. Even if that person is divorced. I have seen cases of people who are divorced and the husband's friend behind will be behaving like a friend till she gets the woman down. A woman that is vulnerable can fall. It is men that should stop taking advantage of women's vulnerability. Somebody said, Auntie, I agree with your point, but if the guy had married another strange woman, that is not their friend. It wouldn't have been worse like this. And since it has religion, his religion permits it, and the way Mercy is flaunting it to her face is just an act of wickedness. But all I can say is that Adekas is not content, and this is not his fault. Adekas case is the fault of every party, I want to believe. We don't know why Adekas decided to marry another wife. We are not privy to all the information. Okay? In as much as I feel for Funsho, I feel so much for her that all this thing is being flaunted straight to her face without, Mercy thinking of her mental health and everything. And of course, we can't tell Mercy what to do. But of course, if Adekas is a man enough, he can caution Mercy. Some women are not so strong. It is men that should stop taking advantage of them. If your husband waka go meet woman wey dey at her lowest, she go fuck your husband. Nothing wey you go do. Otoro legbon yen. She go do am. Patapata you go abuse am, you go give her name. Men should stop taking advantage of women at their weakest. If you want to be, because by the time that woman will get herself together, she will hate you for doing whatever you do to her. She will eventually hate you as the man. Because what a man has done, a man that will go to a woman who has lost her husband and be behaving like a friend till he gets her down, what that man is saying is that, telling her she's weak. And by the time that woman will be strong, she will look back. She will hate that man. Especially if she's a woman of principle who never prayed for that kind of a thing to happen to her. But she found herself there. We keep facing the men, women, we keep facing the women. And the men are walking around freely doing nonsense. For how long are we going to do this? So I saw that post and I said, what you have not gone through, sometimes be careful the advice you give. You are not facing the friend. Àwọn obìnrin, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn ló lórí burúkú ọ̀rẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ tó bá rí ìyàwó ọ̀rẹ́ tó wá hùn, ó mì pé ó ti ń wo ìyàwó yẹn kẹ́niyẹn tó kú ni. So I'm not saying I'm ruling out what that lady said in totality, but I'm just trying to to speak for some widows and to give them strength, because this kind of talk can make them feel dirty. Why do you think we have so many women, when they talk about a woman, maybe a man dating a man, they can't face their husband at home, they come on social media and vent it. They can't face their husband. They have seen Adekas as a means of beating their own husband that is misbehaving. For how long are we continuing to beat a woman for the nonsense of a man? Any man that waka, if a woman need him, then go do him. Because he's a medicine at that moment. Now in waka, no be them. As long as that woman does not come to that man's house to come and do it, any woman when waka come inside your house, can't do. Pour hot water on her body, call her thief. Yes, because now inside your house she come. If now your husband go meet am, now your husband you go call thief. Now your husband go steal something wey no belong to him. Face your husband and shout. Let the world come and see what your husband has done, not the woman. So somebody saying, is it right for a woman to marry? In the olden days, if they can be giving brothers, what stops it? As long as that man will do it legally and the right way. And the right way is that he will come. Let him carry his wife and tell the wife, I want to marry so person. If he can do it. If he cannot do it, let him go. That means he just wants to be using you. And he will eventually disgrace and embarrass you. But to make a woman feel she's at fault, to make a woman feel that she's at fault for one nonsense of a man, that is what I don't like, especially widows. I've walked in their shoes, so I can speak to some extent and say, this is how it is. This is how a woman feels at every stage of widowhood. A woman, I remember that my pastor friend, pastor that I told you from Baptist, the man came. He said he wants to have a meeting with me, and he sat me down. He said, Aburo, he calls me Aburo. He said, I want to tell you one thing today. Please keep it. It's very important. And I said, what? He said, what I'm about to tell you, if it doesn't happen now, it will happen one day. But I want you to be ready for it so you don't fall for what you're not supposed to fall for. It was the first person to tell me that people that are not supposed to tell me they want to sleep with me will come and tell me. And do you know what? After he told me, he said, make sure anytime you are in the house, if you hear any man is coming to visit, no matter who that man is, and I'm telling every widow now, make sure you are wearing 3 trousers. I said 3 trousers. He said, yes. I said, for what? He said, because if the man will start making move, maybe a wrong person that is not supposed to make move to you. By the time it will start, maybe your body is cooperating. By the time you are removing the first trouser, your sense is not coming. Before you remove the 3rd trouser, your sense will return back and you will say, no, I don't want to do this. He said, because they will come. Do you know, I got to that point. Somebody I never expected, apart from this lawyer friend, somebody my husband took like a junior brother, trained, helped through school, that was calling me mommy, mommy, when my husband was alive. Look at me one day and said, Auntie, I want to tell you one thing. I even thought he was in danger. I said, ṣé kò sí, ṣó wà okay? Ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màmú wà okay. Mo ní ṣé kò sí. Nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ sóhun ni. I was so scared because I took him like a child, like my junior brother. And I said, what is it? Hey, ayé ò ní mú wa. May we not get to the extent, to the stage of being on the floor where we can't think straight. May we not get to that stage where our mind is mixed up, our thoughts is mixed up, and we can't process anything. We don't know what is wrong. We don't know what is right. May we never get to that stage in life. Maybe if you get there, come back and tell me how you dealt with it. If you don't fall. Because a lot of people are falling for worse things. Because people don't talk out. Because they don't share experience. Or because when they come out, the world will clap on their head and abuse and curse them out. This person I'm talking about, we gave him accommodation while my husband was alive. My husband employed him in his office as a student, paying him. My husband was the one giving him money for transport to go to school and everything. We gave him the basement of our house to be living in. And one day he called me, said, Auntie, mommy to me, Monisha Kosi, I want to see you. I said, are you okay? He said, no, I'm not okay, ma. Everything okay with you? Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? And I asked your school, everything. Say, no, everything is okay with his school. I said, okay. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? I don't know what to say. But you told me something is wrong. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. You don't know how to say it. Whatever it is, ṣáà for bẹ́ẹ̀bù. So nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ sọ. If you have not gotten there, you can't advise people. No, you can't. The thing is even heavy for me to say out as I'm talking now, because I count it as abomination, disgusting. I see it as disrespectful. I don't even know how to cut. I can't say it with my mouth. I can't. Hello? Hello? Ṣó ti dé? Sorry o. Mo ń ṣe nǹkan lọ́wọ́ ni. Okay. 70. Jẹ́ kí n pọ̀ ọmọ mi kó wá ṣe gate. Mo wà lórí live show. Jọ. Hold on. Fifi, please, we have visitor. Èèyàn kan wà lẹ́nu ọ̀nà, jọ̀ọ́ bá mi ṣílẹ̀kùn fẹ́ ni yẹn. I can't say it, but we are all matured. And the guy said it out. Kò dẹ̀ sí mọ́tò kankan tà. Má lọ jọ. Okay. Sorry, please. Níbo ló sọ pé wà á mọ́ ṣílẹ̀kùn sí olóhùn rẹ̀ anybody? Lòun níbo ló wà á mọ́ lóhùn ṣílẹ̀kùn rẹ̀ anybody? Ẹ wọlé ó ti ṣílẹ̀kùn lẹ̀. And he said it. And I was like, I look around, am I dreaming? I was like, who is talking? Who is talking? That is the way I was doing. I said, who is talking? I look him up and down. Ta ló sọ̀rọ̀? Did you just, no, you didn't say it. And I told him, I said, you did not say anything. Okay? I am assuming you did not say anything. And I told him, from this moment, as I'm talking, don't ever even knock the door of my bedroom to say you want to help me for anything. Okay? I'm not going to ask you to help me to do anything in this house again. I'm not going to tell you to help me other than, and I'm like, 4 months, I couldn't process it. Báwo ni? Mo wà lórí live show. Fún mi few minutes. Jókòó. Oníkọ̀. Yeah, sure. Bóyá kò kàn bá mi. And I could not process it. I was like, and what came to my mind was what that pastor told me. Immediately, I said, oh, and pastor said this thing. And I went back to him. I said, Pastor, you told me so something, and I just experienced it. Why did you tell me? And he began to narrate and give me instances of people, widows, who has fallen for worst situation. I said, you are right. I was shaking to my foundation. My body was like this. And you can just imagine the emotional trauma I went through that period. That if my husband were to be alive, will this happen to me? Now imagine I am not the disciplined type. Imagine if I'm in nympho. You know who the people who call nympho, or what are they called? Nympho, people who cannot do without this thing for one day. Imagine if I'm in that shoes. Do you think I would have scaled through that test? Just imagine if this guy is not a young, he's not a minor, he's not a young person. He was in his late 20s. He was in his late 20s. Now he should be about 40 now, or 40 something. And few months after, I was the one that had to say, oh yeah, it's time for you to go and rent a place. He said he doesn't have enough money. I had to borrow him money. Just go. Just go. You want to, now let me shock you. I now share this experience, you know, because you can never tell what can come up later in life. Let me pick this call. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, Eba Milo, the other phone, please.
Oh, okay.
Mo on live show. You want
I want to contribute names.
Oh yeah, very brief because Mona Lejo, so I need to round up and stop. Yeah. Oh, you experienced what I just said, Abby?
Yes, but I'm a widow. My husband died 98, 2000 and yeah.
Emma sọ̀rọ̀.
This is the 20.
Ẹni tó bá rìn nínú àjò yìí ni kó pè má ṣe pa tú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Dán lè wá sọ̀rọ̀ sáàrọ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí.
This is the 24th year tọkọ mi kú. Ṣé understand? Àbúrò ọkọ mi, àbúrò ọkọ mi tó jóbìnrin dán ọkọ ẹ̀.
Ọkọ àbúrò ọkọ yín?
Yes, my ọkọ àbúrò ọkọ mi. He is a pastor. Mo forúkọ bọ̀ láṣìírí. He's still a pastor, pastor church kan ní Nàìjíríà. Yes. Èmi gan US mo wà tí mo ti ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ibẹ̀ àwọn ṣì wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ẹ bá rí nǹkan tó ń fojú mi rí, òun gangan ló sọ fún òun fẹ́ mi. Fẹ́mi báwo ò kì í ṣe àbúrò ọkọ mi náà. Òun fẹ́ mi sẹ́. Ẹni tí mo mọ̀ pé ìgbà tó kọ mi wà láyé gan, you marry at a tender age, ò gbádùn ọkọ ẹ máa lọ ń mutí, ọkọ ẹ máa lọ ń ṣègbà, ọkọ ẹ máa lọ ń ṣàwo, ó máa ń gbóbìnrin, ó ti pẹ́ sí ohun tí mo ti ń admire. Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé àbúrò ọkọ mi tiẹ̀ níṣẹ́ mọ̀ máa tẹ̀ understand. Bẹ́ẹ̀ eléyìí ọkọ àbúrò ọkọ mi mà ní mo máa ń sọ yìí. Ọmọ bá mi pa títí dì sí nǹkan mà kí n jẹ́ kí n gbádùn mo bó ọkùnrin mo tún dẹ́rù bá pé mo máa
ẹ fẹjọ́ ẹ̀sùn ẹ sẹ́ẹ̀tì trap fún ẹ sẹ́ẹ̀tì trap fún you know why ó lè dọ́là kókó yí lé yín lórí ẹ sẹ́ẹ̀tì trap fún kẹ́ rìpọ́ọ̀tì ẹ̀. English, you don't. I have people who don't speak English. Oh, sorry, apologies. I will tell you what she's trying to tell me. Go on.
Okay, yes. So my mom said, no, that I shouldn't spoil my because of my children because
Sorry, that's what I just corrected, Scooty. Go ahead. I will translate.
Please, Kinjo, Kinshegba, Kinsha. Ṣé wá rí nígbà tó wá yá àǹtí Àdùnní? Wọ́n fojú mi rí o. Wọ́n fojú mi rí. Wọ́n fojú mi rí. Nígbà tó wá yá.
Ṣé fẹ́ máa sunkún ni ẹ ti wà ní US kí ló fẹ́ kún after 24 months, 24 years. I know.
Ṣé rí nígbà yẹn wọ́n sì fẹ́ fojú rí? Àwọn ọmọ mi wọ́n fẹ́ fojú rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Nísìnyí tó ti rí pé ọbẹ̀ ti jiná. Wọ́n fi máa identify pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ mi àti mi.
You see? It's always the case.
Ọkùnrin yóò ṣe bàmí jẹ́ tó nígbà kan wọ́n wá ṣe crusade ní Kano làwà nígbà yẹn. Máa yín wá ní kí wọ́n kí òun. I refuse to go. Nígbà tó wá yá máa yín kò máa sorúkọ sí òpè mi tán. Ó ní àwọn pásítọ̀ méjì náà wá ṣe crusade ní church àti olùdásílẹ̀ wa. Máa yín náà ti ṣàìsí sìn. So wọ́n á kọ̀ mí wá lọ. Nígbà tó wá yá máa yín wá láti purọ́ mọ́ mi pé ẹ̀mí mọ̀ nǹkan tí mo ṣe èmi ni mo pa ọkọ mi. Èmi ṣé mo ara ti ń fún pé mo ti sọ fáwọn ọmọ mi mo ti sọ fáwọn close friends mi ní church. Ó ní ó wá sọ fún the other pastor. Ó ní pastor lágbájá. Ó ní mo wá ìtì Mrs. lágbájá ò ṣe wá. Ó náà ló pọpọ ẹ. Ó ní
ṣẹgbọ́ṣẹ́.
I'm telling you.
Please, can you just cut it short so that because mo lálejò.
Ó sì ń lé mi o. Ó sì ń lé mi. Lóhùn ṣàgbé bá mi sùn fẹ́. Kájọ máa ṣe kò sẹ́ni tó máa gbọ́. Mo ní abomination lélẹ̀.
All right. Thank you for buttressing it. Mo fẹ́. Thank you very much for contributing.
Yes, ma'am.
So for those who don't understand Yoruba, she was trying buttressing what I said, that she experienced it. That her own case was even her husband's her in-law, that is the person that is married to the husband's sister, that wanted to be sleeping with her after she lost her husband. That is what she was trying to tell us. So at the end of the day, like I told you, I try to share my own experience to try and tell somebody to, so that I can have a witness. Because I was avoiding a case whereby it won't be like the case of that lawyer who lied on me. So I told somebody, a man, I said, this is what is happening, sir. I want you to be my witness. I called that boy. I said, you should sit down. He didn't know I was calling a meeting on him. And I called that man. I said, please, sir, since you are very close to this family, there's something I need to let you know, because I don't want anybody giving me bad names in the future. And I told this man what this boy said. You know what the man said? The man said, sometimes when you are too close to people, when you like them, you start having sexual feelings for them. I now told him, I said, but you know how this guy is more like a child. I take him more like my own child. Yes, he's older than my child, like my brother, sisters, like somebody that I'm like almost 13 years older than, and that my husband see as his brother. We live together. We took him in to help him, telling me this. The man said that I should not be upset. There are some things like that do happen. I was like, wow. I gave up concerning men on that day. That men are men, and majority of men are cuckoo. Honestly, when it comes to this thing, majority of men are cuckoo. And of course, they know when to strike. Yes, they know when to strike. And a woman that is weak, and that is why I said I take exception. It is the man that should not go to the woman. If a man that is supposed to be your husband's friend or your friend's husband come at your vulnerability, don't feel guilty if anything happens between you. He is the one to be blamed. Because I know men. I know what I saw. And I know the ones I was able to overcome. Okay? So putting blames on women, especially a widow, no. Is a no, please. Is a no. Don't just go to that avenue. If you have not experienced widowhood, don't even go there. Don't even go there. They are special breed. Once they become a widow, they are on a different terrain. Please don't go there. You can, because you don't know how it is. You've never been there to say, okay, this is how I did it. This is how I'm. No. You don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And the one you are saying is about an abomination. If in those days, traditionally, culturally, it was acceptable to marry your husband's brother. It was legal. It was considered legal. And nobody would stone you for doing it. So can't you marry your husband's associates? My own is that give it time. Don't rush into it. Rushing into it will make people give you name that you kill your husband. Give it time. If the man cannot wait, let him go. There is nothing wrong in it. And I say it boldly with my face. I am not a coward. Reality, my page is real talk. Okay? I am not here to deceive anybody or to paint anybody. What somebody cannot overcome, they should not come to me and tell me and be saying, be praying. Prayer is enough to hold you. Prayer cannot cover that aspect we are talking of. No matter how much you fast, your body will crave it. God help you, he crave it at the wrong time and you're not able to stand and say, no, I'm not doing this. Okay? If in those days, there is nothing wrong in doing it, marrying they will say, yeah, since it has gone, because they don't want to go from the family. Oh yeah, marry this person. We find love in strange places. We find love where we least expect. We find love, and this is a matter of art. We find love where we would never imagine we will find love. Walk in their shoes, then come back and tell me how it's easy it has been. Of course, some of us will not do that kind of a thing, but I will never condemn any woman I find in that mistake. Yes, I will never condemn any woman that makes such mistake because I've walked it. I overcame by. Imagine if I had allowed that boy. I look at him. I don't talk to him again. I block him. Since I've blocked him for years now. I block him. I block everything about him. Imagine if I fell. Imagine if that moment my flesh overtook. Imagine if it was a time I was really sad and I was crying and he came to hold me to start saying, oh yeah, epelema and this. And before I know it, what if today I will still be blamed? Just like we are throwing blames on women like that. No. No. It's not right. Widowhood, work in widowhood before you come and talk about it. Please, I'm begging you. Experience widowhood. I don't pray you will experience it. Oh, nobody should experience it. Nobody deserves to experience it. But if you have not experienced it, and any widow, they tell you one widow do something, does this and does this, as long as she's not the one that carry her leg to that man. If na that man carry him leg, come meet that woman. Flog that man instead. Stop covering your husband while they are messing up people's lives. At the end of the day, this husband's friend are only using this woman. They don't have anything good for them. Any man that has something good for you will marry you. I know of a couple till today, they are still existing. This couple, the woman's husband has been dead for almost 30-something years. The children are grown up and married now. And they've been together. The man has been together with this woman. And the woman is a friend to the family. The wife accepted her. They are not living together. But the wife, when she got to know, accepted this woman. It's all about the man, the way he handles things. And this man was the one that stood as father to marry those children to their spouses. It's a story I know very well. This is not something. Life happens to us in a different way. Mystery. Life is a mystery. I have to go. Emma Binu, because of my guest, I have a guest, so I really have to go. Please. Until I come your way again, I remain yours, Real Talk with Auntie Aduni. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, I think if we have diverse opinions. So don't, I'm not saying what I say is binding on anybody. I am saying this as my own opinion. Whatever works for you, whatever works for anybody. But I'm telling you, there are some mistakes because there are some widows who have fallen and made this kind of mistakes. And today, people are looking at them as a bad people. They are not bad. They fell at their weakest. Okay? They fell at their weakest. Anybody can fall when they are weak. It is some men who take advantage of such situations. And it is such men we should face. Women, we are weak. We go through a lot. We go through so many things. Some, they don't even have money to take care of their children. And a man will come in the guise of helping, giving them money. And that man is the husband's friend. And the man has been helping, giving money. And that woman has had hope from that man giving money. Before you know it, the man will throw something else, the other one into it. And she will be unable to say no because the man has been helping. If she says no, the man will stop. Where will she go and get money from? You know, so life happens to us in different ways. If anybody falls in that category or you find them in that, don't make them feel worse as if they are the worst sinner in this world. She might even be regretting her mind that she has done what she did. Maybe she doesn't know how to correct it. Thank you very much. Don't vex. So my page is Real Talk. Oh, I don't know how to lie and I don't know how to paint something to make you feel good. I say it as I see it, as it has happened. We have all gone through life and see something. And by the way, tomorrow is my birthday. So at the age I am now, you go tell me say I never see life. If to say I born on time, I'm supposed to be a grandmother now. So I don't see life. So many mothers are bold enough to come and talk so that we can know that some things happen. It's not worth dying for. Bye-bye. Sorry, mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kí n máa ṣí àkíní yẹn kí n tó lè sọ̀rọ̀. Má bínú, máa take a round nsìn.